So, Mom, when we were talking the other day, you mentioned about when you got the first refrigerator in your family. And the other thing we were talking about was how people used to actually make telephone calls and neighbors could listen in. So, start us off and tell us a little bit about the refrigerator.
Yes, my father was one of the first on the block to buy a refrigerator. It was called a zero zone. The only place we had an electrical plug for it was in the farthest corner from the kitchen. And we were so proud of this. Anytime anyone came to visit, we took them to the dining room and showed them the refrigerator, and they were pleased to see it.
Well, how did you
Previous
keep
to-
things? Oh, that's what I was going to ask. How did you keep things
Well,
cold?
previous to that, we had an ice box. An ice box had two sections. One section would hold a large, let's say, 2 by 2 chunk of ice. At least that's our ice box. And that would keep our food cold. We could preserve butter and milk, keep it chilled. And they were actually they were pretty pieces of furniture, oftentimes walnut. And that's
How'd you get the ice?
Oh, the Iceman came, and he would stop. You would put your sign out if you wanted ice, and he probably knew that we wanted this size. And the kids would all run out. We'd all run out to the ice truck because we wanted a piece of ice. And he was a jolly fellow. Most of them were.
So that was a regular job. Somebody had a
Yes.
real job as an iceman.
That's right. That was the job for men earned their living delivering ice.
The other thing that was interesting is the telephone. Tell us a little bit about how the phone worked back then. Did we all use Apple phones or Galaxy phones or?
Well, it's a different world. The telephone that I have the best memory of is a mouthpiece on a stand with sitting in a
round base.
round base, and it has a receiver hanging off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to call any one of my grandchildren. I would say, I would lift the receiver, and the operator would say, "Number, please." And I would tell her what number I wanted to call. And she would dial it for me, or she would make the connection.
Because there's no way for you to dial.
No.
So all your calls had to go through the operator.
And the dial, oh, we thought that was such a great invention when we got a dial phone.
So what do you think about the Apple Watches today then, that people can just talk into their watches?
It's
Pretty
amazing. It's amazing. How did we know? Of course, we had news. Everybody read the newspaper. We had 2 or 3 newspapers in our city. And I think my father took 2 newspapers. So people read the newspaper, probably, for news.